back to the channel. Food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Reflect videos like this. She probably just watched The Conjuring.
What the hell? Is this a dove, y'all? What kind of bird is this? Got that glow. Y'all know what kind of bird this is? Is it a dove? Where'd you come from? Could this be like a sign or something? All my spiritual people, if this is a dove, what does this mean? Because this is crazy. Like, he ain't even moving, nothing. I'm mad close to it. That's crazy.
Lo que vas a ver a continuación le pasó a Jimena Barón, una conocida artista argentina, mientras se encontraba disfrutando de una reunión con unos amigos en casa de uno de estos. Como puedes ver, de repente se levanta muy sobresaltada. Como ella dijo posteriormente, notó que alguien le apretaba fuerte la espalda. Más tarde subiría a sus redes sociales este extracto de la grabación, donde se aprecia lo que parecen dos manos, una en su hombro derecho y otra detrás de su cabeza. Tras esto ella quedó muy asustada y confesó que pasó varias noches sin dormir.
Es la mano de Maradona.
Blessed is God, always now and ever, even unto ages and ages. Enjoy the movie, you're welcome.
I found over here you have a lot of Catholics, so.
Blessed is our God, always now and ever, even unto ages and ages.
Hoy nos dieron la carta de San Miguel Arcángel para que rezáramos antes de la película con agua bendita, ya no saben que le echamos lo que acaba de entrar ahorita.
Look at this fat ass, giant, morbidly obese squirrel.
And that's the security squirrel.
Suruh keluar. Serang lagi, serang.
I think they're blowing arrows at us, bro.
Seriously, this is terrifying. They're huge bulls. So I've got like an offering for them. This is Demi back here, who knows the tribe and who's bringing us in. He's telling us that this is the way to basically bargain our way and try and make them accept us. Got salt.
Put it in your hands.
Put it in my hand?
Open it and then just put it in your hands. Kakak macam tidak terima kita full. Kakak rasa, buang. Kakak rasa.
Oh, God. Okay, he doesn't look like he likes that.
Be careful.
He doesn't like it. All right, guys, let's move back, maybe.
We have to go out.
He's not into that.
Not really welcome. It's really dangerous.
I'm not gonna lie, that is absolutely terrifying.
Oh my God.
Demi, they're scary.
I'm sorry I'd take you here.
Out of anything in the world, salt? Are you serious?
Yeah. No worries, mate. Oh. Yep. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Roger.
Repeat that again.
So sometimes animal at night, because night is quiet, animal they may come and graze the grass close to your tent.
What kind of animals?
I remember like last night we had an elephant here. Also, we had a buffalo. They were very close. So when you are inside the tent, is safe. It's just like to be in the car. Hakuna matata at all. And also sometimes you might hear there's strange noise like lion sometimes normally sound like when you hear like that, it could be the lion. So no need to worry about it. Those are the citizens who are living here.
Okay.
Instead of that, enjoy them. Okay?
Got it.
Hakuna matata at all.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
I'm checking in my room.
Okay.
And the guy told me, he said, stay in the short grass and not the tall grass because the Serengeti is right there. And they can't guarantee anything because you're out in the wild. This is wild. Again, this is the short grass. That's the tall grass. That's where the lions, tigers, and bears are.
Remember the room name.
Okay, swallow.
Yeah.
Not sure if y'all can see this, man. But here are the places where I'm staying tonight. Right here. And this out here is the Serengeti. No fences, no gates. Just out in the bush. Crazy.
His lion vocalization was spot on, but no fences, no gates, no me.
My car is fucking totaled. Oh my God. Fuck.
After exposing Metatron's cube, this man never found again. Watch this.
This is the Metatron's cube. It represents the atom and the universe. The first big circle is the all. Every circle is the all. It is the atom itself. It is this is physicality. It is Earth. Here it is right here. Now they all fit into this six-pointed cube. Also air. Let's go water next here. Water is the downward triangle right in there. This all actually is light. This is just everything in the universe. It is self. Now we have space, where the ether is right here in the middle, and also right here. This atom is infinite. It will forever go on. There's a small one right here. You could leave it empty if you want, but I like to put stuff in it because it's fun. This is the entire universe. I won't talk about the angel. I will not talk about Metatron. This is the purpose. It is the way of the universe. If you can understand this, if you can decipher the code of what it is, you will have found yourself as the universe. All the elements are one thing, and that is light, the atom. This also means the same thing. You're on to it.
Baki timeline activated.
Pay attention to this. I'm not going to narrate it because it'll get taken down, but you're smart enough, you'll be able to figure it out. This is how they've been doing it.
And they found love in a hopeless place.
I don't know why that's happening right now. I'm using a welding mask. What is happening right now? I'm just putting my phone on the welding mask, so I don't know what, if it's like electromagnetic energy coming at us right now, being pulsed. That is so weird. Is the sun pulsing energy at us? I am so confused.
The whole thing is definitely scary.
The only other object in the solar system that has liquids on its surface is a moon of Saturn. It's called Titan. And that liquid is methane and ethane. It's very different than water. And Titan has oceans and rivers and lakes of methane and ethane. Temperature on the surface of Titan is just 90 degrees above absolute zero, so it's about a third of the temperature of Earth. What I would like to do if I had the opportunity is to go fishing there, because if we find fish in those oceans of methane and ethane on Titan, it would mean that there is life as we don't know it.
Mermaids? Mermaids over here. We've got the person on the trumpet, which you always see. They were allegedly going around on these ships. That could have been just a ploy as well, too. Maybe they were just in the air. Basic weather vane harness. Check this. So this is inside the building. Now, if lightning, let's just make this real simple. If lightning was traveling from here down into this, while this thing spins, that would be energy. Then this thing spins. Then there's an orb. That orb could contain different types of materials like mercury. But what's interesting is this rod is going into the house, into the wood, into the rest of the home. Now the picture is missing, but it's just basically showing that it's in the wood and it's grounding itself. Now what do we want if we think of fire hazards? And I'm in Arizona where there's fire hazards all the time. And it's usually, there's certain people doing it. Would I want lightning traveling all the way down through this orb and then into my home? I mean, would I get shocked? Would I get hit with the lightning? When we get into some of these other ones, there's a lot of antique dealers, and they would stick them in the cupola, which is the top, which is funny because cupola or cupati is the bathtub.
Bro! This looks insane! This looks magical.
The product they're adding to the water supplies of the United States is contaminated hazardous waste from the phosphate fertilizer industry that is contaminated with sufficient arsenic. Forget the fluoride, sufficient arsenic to cause an additional cancer of bladder or lung for every 15,000 people. The water is supposed to have standards for 1 cancer in a million. Our intervention is responsible for much of the bladder and lung cancer. Everybody here knows somebody that, I never smoked a cigarette in my life, and now I got lung cancer. Well, that's what arsenic causes. Yeah.
I'm over here at the storage, and I don't know if it's me, but y'all tell me I don't see that. Oh, no. I don't know if it's just a fan, going in and out, but the is that? Duh. I don't... Maybe I'm bugging. No, I know y'all just see that, right? Oh!
That's definitely someone. Run, scream, and get out.
¿Tú sabes qué es la brujería católica?
Es una nueva corriente que se está utilizando, pero que se ha utilizado siempre.
Ok.
Y una de las cosas que se ha utilizado es ir a una iglesia y pedirle un santo. Ajá. Y a la hora que le pides un santo, le estás haciendo o prendiendo una veladora, pero estás haciendo un ritual.
Sí.
Entonces, a la hora de hacer un ritual y ponerle una intención, a eso se le llama magia, brujería. Todo lo que tú estás haciendo brujería. Si nos vamos a México, hay un lugar específico, en una iglesia, muy en particular, en Chiapas. Y fíjate que en esta iglesia, los santos son utilizados para hacer brujería. Tú te metes y no hay bancas, no es la famosa iglesia, pero sí está lleno de santos. Está prohibido grabar dentro de esta iglesia, pues sí, por los sacrificios, por todo lo que se hace. Sí. Por ahí no recuerdo bien la región donde está esta iglesia en Chiapas, y la comunidad es muy recelosa en ese sentido. Pero ahí se hacen desde limpias hasta brujerías de animales, y que tú te metes y estás en una iglesia. Se ofician misas. Y que el Papa Francisco, en su visita a México, visitó este lugar.
¿En serio?
Sí.
Eso es en Chiapas.
En Chiapas lo puede, la gente que me vaya a funar lo puede buscar. Visita del Papa Francisco en México, en Chiapas. Y está en este lugar. Si nos vamos a la web, vamos a poder buscar ese mismo lugar y te puedas dar cuenta que es una iglesia donde los pocos videos que se han podido captar se ven a las personas, a los encargados, que le llaman mayordomos, pero son brujos, encargados de una imagen, y esos mayordomos o brujos que son encargados de esa imagen, vienes, me consultas, te hago una limpia dentro de la iglesia y me haces mi paga. Entonces,
¿me haces mi paga?
Sí, porque...
O sea, me pagas para lo que...
Me pagas, claro, y yo le voy a dar de esa paga, pues en ese caso, al sacerdote o la persona encargada de la iglesia.
Quizás.
¿Qué es lo que pasa? Eso se ha hecho mexicanamente, ahora sí, por tradición ahí. Pero algo que hemos hecho durante mucho tiempo, las personas que somos católicas, pues son brujerías, hermano.
Head of a creature is Africa, and there's more than that one. Hold on. We got this one, and then we got this one. Now, and they both appear to be different maps, and they both appear to show the exact same thing. And I looked up the cranial formation, and it's not too far off from that. I mean, it really isn't. So, if anybody has any information, I'd sure like to hear about it, because I have nothing more on this. It really does fit, I'm telling you. I mean, that's like the cartilage off his nose. And the skull areas seem to be pretty close to looking like this. So if anybody can help, we'd love to have this. And the size of the creatures that we are talking about, this is not outside of the realm of possibilities. I know it sounds insane, but it is what it is. All right, this is what tendon balls look like, and this is what moons look like. That is where the tendon ball was attached. They are biological. You see that? That's Iapetus. It's got the same type of implant. Some of them have two, some of them have one. Some of them have ridges, some of them don't have ridges. But they are all moons. I mean, they are all tendon balls. There's the equilateral ridge in Iapetus. All right, there's Techus. Same thing. They're all the same. This is Iapetus again. Oh, no, this is Mimas. You see, they're all the same. They cut up bodies of the gods. That's all I can tell you. And the head could be Africa. I have no idea. I'd love to see a little more on that map. All right, this is Comet 67P on top of Raleigh, North Carolina. You see the size of it? That is also a tendon ball. Anybody that's been following me knows it's a tendon ball. That is the tendon ball right there, and its stalk came out, and this one got ripped out and still has the actual tendons and a piece of muscle. That is muscle right there. And these little pinches are the muscle bundles. These little fibers are the tendon fibers. And that's exactly what this is, and it is enormous. space is filled with the bodies of creatures. I cannot account for that other than this was written about in the past. And everybody thought it was hysterical, but it may just be historical. Now the crazy thing is, these tendon balls are these little tiny balls that are inside the joints of your body that lock and secure the muscles and tendons into something secure so you can pull your muscles against them. So some of these are tiny little tendon balls. The one that I showed you, like 67P, Comet 67P, is something like this. Other ones lay out flat, and then they have all kinds of balls inside the muscle and so forth that hold things. Other ones form balls, and then out of that ball comes the stalk. 67P is this type. The other ones, I think, are from areas of this, but they are all biological. And all of the astronauts say when they go out in space and they come back from the capsule, their spacesuits smell like steak.
Is Earth a cemetery?
For educational purposes only. America itself, like Los Angeles, has its foundations in similar mythic traditions that you were never taught in elementary school. You remember learning that America was named after Amerigo Vespucci, right? But what if I told you that was merely a cover story for Eurocentric legitimacy? In 1951, world-renowned esoteric scholar Manly P. Hall, known for decoding suppressed ancient wisdom, claimed America was originally derived from Amaruca, meaning land of the plumed serpent, a name rooted in ancient serpent-worshipping civilizations of the Americas. After all, the entire South American continent is riddled with serpent iconography. Why would North America be any different? Manly Hall wasn't alone. James Price, an American theosophist, highly recognized esoteric scholar, acclaimed publisher, and pivotal figure who bridged early Christian theology with Western esoteric traditions, traced Amaruca to Amaru, a serpent deity of the Andes mountain region connected to Quetzalcoatl and Guchumats, the feathered serpent gods of Mesoamerica. So why hide this? Because the Amaruca origin undermines the narrative of European discovery of America. And instead of the colonial myth that indigenous cultures were primitive, it points to a sophisticated pre-Columbian civilization with spiritual and possible technological knowledge. Knowledge suppressed by church-state powers who needed to maintain control over history, education, and us. Some archaeologists even admit that the plume serpent cult stretched far beyond Mesoamerica into the American Southwest and maybe even beneath it. So ask yourself, was America named for a European explorer or for a global serpent tradition that spans continents, timelines, and bloodlines? As Mesoamerican cultures migrated north, they carried many myths and legends of these angelic serpent deities with them, deities these cultures believed to be real physical entities. So it's incredibly likely that these entities existed wherever worship of them was taking place. And one such place, a city built atop underground aquifers, sacred springs, and powerful geomagnetic nodes, a place beneath the bustling city streets of Los Angeles. And if that sounds far-fetched, just wait, because what if this ancient presence beneath Los Angeles wasn't just a myth, but it was actually mapped? And that's exactly what happened in the early 1900s.
I am a high-level military liaison between the Pentagon and NASA. I'm here as a anonymous whistleblower to tell everyone that what happened on April the 8th was not an eclipse. What happened on April the 8th was called Project Pegasus. It's been in the planning for years. What occurred, not an eclipse, since the moon was beside the sun during it and not crossing it. And also it's for both in Pisces. The whole thing is ridiculous, and that's how much credit the government gives all of you, because they'll do something that blatantly wrong, inaccurate, just impossible. And yet they know that Americans they'll be called conspiracy theorists if they even bring it up. So they do it, and they don't even care, okay? So what did they do if there was an eclipse? The biggest thing you have to realize is the coincidence, which was no coincidence, of CERN being turned on that day.
It is near impossible to explain or understand for most of us, but monumental nonetheless.
CERN was turned back on that day, and immediately after it was turned on, this is what appeared in the sky above CERN in Switzerland on the 8th. A literal portal was created above CERN, and this was actually predicted, which is one reason why it was filmed by many people who were in the know. But ever since they discovered the Higgs boson in 2012, the God particle, that's when all of this contact began to occur.
Using a particle accelerator, believe they have found the subatomic particle known as the Higgs boson, otherwise known as the God particle. There you have it.
Because this whole thing of Project Pegasus was about CERN. Through its experiments with the God particle and particle acceleration in general, they achieved quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon when, by working at the quantum level and getting to the true incredible energy of particles, once they combine or collide, there was something that occurred where the quantum entanglement manifested in a being emerging from another dimension, another alien being that emerged. Through that, this was a couple years ago, through that introduction, through that communication, 3 governments got involved in a negotiation that occurred in a very bizarre way, because it didn't actually happen in person. I'm not going to waste time explaining how the negotiations happened, but between Russia, China, and America, they dealt with this species, and this species offered a deal. And the deal was that we would be given something if they were allowed to come here to Earth and basically set up a secret base. What did we get, and what's their secret base about? Okay, I'll just quickly tell you. What we got was AI. Think about it. Didn't AI emerge out of nowhere 2023? And didn't it emerge, not just out of nowhere, in an incredibly mature, sophisticated level of complexity that kind of makes sense for a new technology? And even now, 1 year into it, a year and a half into it, whatever we're at, it's getting scary what it can do. I mean, it's indistinguishable from reality in some cases. Okay, so that's where we're at 2 years into AI, and that's because AI, like a lot of our technology, like the microchip and other things that we got from Roswell and the Grace, this is another technology from another higher level species. And let me just add this, for those who think that AI is about making funny pictures or interesting videos and stuff, sure, it can do that, and that is the consumer-facing end of this technology. But if you knew the intent of AI in terms of how it will impact your everyday life, very soon, you might take a gun to your head and blow your brains out. It is that radical of a shift what the government intends to do with this shiny toy called AI. So that's what we got. In return, they got basically the southern half of Antarctica, below the South Pole. And that is what, well, let me, first things first, what the hell happened if not an actual eclipse? Well, a couple things. Number one, they required, in order to do this, and when I say do this, the event to happen on the 8th was the alien species coming through to our dimension. In order to come through, they required a few things. Number one, they required loosh. What is loosh? Loosh is the energy expended and exhibited by human beings when they are collectively excited and focused on something, like at a rock concert or during church or something like that.
Oh, it's emotional. I can't explain why, but it is. We had tears, we had screams, we had fireworks.
So by having absorbing so much of the planet, looking up at a certain time of day, and everybody giving their attention and their emotions to it. Which, by the way, if you watch some videos, you had newscasters crying.
It just took my breath away, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. They were crying, and the reason they were crying was because it was an incredibly emotional thing, because the aliens made it so. The aliens made it so because the energy created or received from the loosh, and again, I've defined what loosh is.
Whoa, look at that! What's that all about?
That loosh energy, coupled with the energy of the sun, allowed them at the time of the quote-unquote eclipse for their mothership, which is what that circle was. It wasn't a moon. Their mothership came out of nowhere, entered into the area of the sun, stopped. Did you notice how it stopped for an inordinate amount of time in the center when it should have been continuing at the very slow crawl rate that the moon typically does? Well, it didn't. It stayed there for a bit of time. And that's insane, okay? That's another blatant giveaway. And again, the government thinks that no one's going to notice, or if they notice, they'll be branded a conspiracy theorist, and they don't care. So they just allowed it to happen. This ship basically connected with the sun at that moment and got an incredible amount of physical energy required for them to enter through the dimension. Coming in from another dimension takes an incredible amount of energy. The sun and our loosh did that. At that point, the ship went around the back of the sun. Did you notice that we didn't see anything depart? It just sort of disappeared into the sun. Well, it kind of did. It went around to the back, and it all actually docked there where it is at this moment that I speak. What happened next? Well, from that energy, from that loosh, from that focus, from that also that actual hydrogen-based nuclear energy you got from the sun, it was able to send a massive amount of ships and individuals of their race to the Earth into an area just north of the Antarctic base that they're going to take over. The waves, if you look at the waves stuff, the things that happened on the wave map during that time, okay?
April 9th, 2024, the day after the solar eclipse, something terrifying lurked off the coast of Antarctica. Radar systems detected a monstrous wave anomaly, an area larger than Texas with 80-foot waves. The anomaly moved up towards South Africa. At the same time, Cape Town witnessed a horrifying sight. The ocean receded dramatically, as if dragged away by some unseen force. Beaches were left exposed, waves vanished. What really happened? A glitch in the system? A creature? Or something yet to be seen?
And they had the audacity to tell the public it was a glitch. It wasn't a glitch because there is tons of video and evidence of people in South Africa running from, mini tsunami level waves that were created by these ships becoming USOs, going underwater. And from doing that and establishing themselves there, they were able to then make their move to the southern part of Antarctica. They also took animals.
We're going to talk to Jason about some of the changes that we've heard. Birds making more noises.
And it's fun to see all the animals act up.
Anything you noticed with the animals as you were sitting back there just a minute ago?
They get very active now. The fish were jumping out of the water a lot.
Animals were a big part of the deal. They are, of course, taking humans was off the table from our governments, but they allowed that animals to be taken, and animals reacted weirdly during this quote-unquote eclipse. Also, the government is presently asking for reports on animal behavior because they know exactly what's going on and they want to know how it affected them. The reason why there was disasters declared and all the National Guard and all that was because the government doesn't know if they can trust these people, okay? They're still getting to know them. And we didn't know what would happen, really. We were told the government's with, and we have it all on paper. I mean, I have packets of reports about what we were told by this species of what happened. But we had to be prepared in case it got crazy, in case something went off script, in case there was some invasion. I mean, we had to prepare for the worst because we didn't know if we could trust. I think the craziest secret that I have to divulge, though, about this whole thing is that the 2 rockets that NASA shot on the 8th, coincidentally, to quote-unquote observe what was the official narrative. Well, guess what, people? It was half true. They were shot up there to observe, but there happened to be actually 4 astronauts in those rockets, 2 in each. And they rendezvoused with the mothership because those astronauts are part of an exchange program that we initiated with these species. And those, it's actually 3 men and 1 woman, are going to be going, well, the first to them on the mothership for, I think, at least 2 years is what's scheduled. And then back to the home planet.
Project Pegasus or energy harvesting. And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I got you next time.